So you see what's working sites on I'm back to it. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and you always watch full video.
On the afternoon of July 1st,
July
2021,
1st.
officers from the Tybee Island Police Department descended on Tybee Island Beach in Tybee Island, Georgia. The police had been
Tybee
called
Island.
by a member of the public because, according to them, a woman had walked past the caller's family tent several times and eventually had found a spot a short distance away in front of it. After placing a towel down on the sand, the caller said the woman started touching herself inappropriately. I could hear moaning. As you'll see, the woman in question appears to be confused at first, but when confronted by the claims made against her, she starts to give her version of events and tries to reason with her.
Did you really have to call the law on her for that? Yes, this is an inappropriate moment. Hey, it might be kids around, but you could have walked. Hey, get your up out of here. Hey, don't do that. Especially if there wasn't no kids around. If there was, hey, sad to say, you knew better. You are grown. You're not somebody young. So that young when you're young, your mind is not fully developed. Therefore, somebody young might end up doing something weird that they know that we know because our mind is more developed that they shouldn't be doing. She's that person. She knows what she's doing. She shouldn't be doing. It's crazy.
Actions.
How you doing, ma'am? Officer Dollar Type P. Can we speak to you for a second? We'll get you over there. Go ahead and bring your stuff.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. What's your name, ma'am?
Chris,
Chris?
do you
All
have
right.
your ID on you? Yeah, can I ask what the problem is?
All right, so someone called us. We got multiple calls about you. About something pertaining on the beach. Were you supposed to be, were you doing something you weren't supposed to be doing?
No. No.
Like, what were you doing on the beach?
Chilling.
Prior to coming here. Prior to coming here. Were you at the beach at some point?
More likely, they probably have probably is the key word. They probably have no video proof of this. They probably, hey, I want to report this. This is what this was. If she admits to this, you played yourself. Because more likely, again, they more likely didn't get no video of nothing. And then how they described it was like she put a towel down, she sat down. I don't think she would lay down, bust it open, and spread an eagle, and they got to doing that. I don't think she did that. So more like this is hid. You just heard some groaning, moaning, whatever. They don't have no video proof. So if she admits to this, slow.
Okay, I don't understand. There was nobody. I was just sitting on my towel. Nobody was around me.
Okay, and you were over at the beach?
Like I was near the water.
Near the water?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, well, like I said, someone called and they saw you doing something you weren't
I
supposed to be
didn't.
doing.
No, that's not true. Okay, look, is this something that my phone should be off for or on for?
You could, whatever you want to do. It's your right.
What?
If you want to record this conversation, you can. But we are also recording, so you know.
Okay, can you show? I mean, who did I offend? I don't understand. What did I do? What did I do?
So apparently you're masturbating on the beach.
No.
Who
No.
saw that?
I mean, a couple people.
No, they
families.
didn't. That's not true.
Why would they call us that?
Okay, because I was by myself. Now, I will tell you this. The only way that somebody would have called you is if it was a military operation. They're fucking doing this.
We need military.
Never mind. Okay, so
What the hell do you mean by that?
nobody was around. It was an anonymous call? Is
Yeah,
this one of my buddies? Okay,
No,
one of my buddies.
No, it's not one of your buddies. It's a family.
Okay, look, let me show you what I did.
Okay.
Okay.
Is there
I
anything in the bag?
No.
Is it right if I look through it? I mean, if you can open it, and can I see the contents inside the bag?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't really understand what y'all are.
We're just here because someone called and they're very concerned. Okay.
This is really highly offensive to me.
I got it. I got you. And that's why I'm trying to figure it out.
It's my vibrator, but I just put it in my. I was sitting on the beach, and I just. Okay. Do I get a?
Ma'am, why would you admit to that? You just admitted that you was pleasuring yourself in public. I don't know what type of charge they're gonna give you for that because it wasn't like you exposed anything, so it can't be like indecent exposure because you didn't expose nothing. They just heard you groaning, but I'm quite sure they're gonna find some type of charge. This for sure. I don't know. Again, if it's kids around, then you might end up on the register. If not, then you might be okay. But I don't know.
So you did have a vibrator.
Listen, I was sitting on the water like this, and I just put it in there, and it was covered up, and I just had an orgasm. I'm sorry, I was stressed out.
I got you. Okay. Hang tight for me.
She said, "Whoa, yeah."
Okay, so if this is anonymous, call someone.
Okay. I mean, yeah.
People did see it. We didn't get a call for no reason.
I swear to God, I was sitting in the water. Nobody saw it.
Well, I mean, if nobody saw them, they wouldn't have called,
They
right?
they see you. They hear you.
Please, don't do this to me. Are you serious?
You want to take primary notice?
I don't know. She could have. She shouldn't have said. I mean, you shouldn't have admitted to that. I wouldn't. No. I was like, do they have video proof? Did they see me doing this or anything? What did they see? Oh, they heard you. They heard you. They heard me what? They heard you groaning. What? I was on the phone. Come on, bro. Like, why would you admit to that, ma'am?
Okay, I got you.
This is ridiculous. What am I being arrested for?
Indecent exposure.
Indecent exposure.
No, but I didn't have any of my body
Someone
parts
called.
out.
Well, nothing was out.
A family saw it. They had kids.
Oh.
What? There
That's
was
why you called.
nobody around me.
So,
Nothing in here that shouldn't be in here?
No.
Okay.
She didn't sound too confident when she said that.
yeah.
This yours, ma'am? This hers?
Yeah.
I'm hoping this is Jesus Christ.
I would not have admitted to that. She should have been doing that for sure. Like, why? Like, go to your room and do that. Look at the water from a distance. Why are you on the direct beach in daylight? Yeah, all the kids around. I don't know about this one, man. She said I had an orgasm, bro. That was crazy. Like, out of all things you could have said, that was not the thing to say.
All right. Awesome. Oh, it's right here? Sweet. Thank you so much. What's your name? Amber. Yeah.
This nigga still got a coffee.
Yeah, that's fine.
Indecent. I don't know. Like, that charge for sure got to be dropped down because nothing was exposed. You're listening to me. Why are you listening? Why you mind your business?
Ma'am?
Again, she should have chose somewhere else to do, especially if you're walking down the beach and you see it's people around. She should have went somewhere else, Especially, you should have went back to your room. More importantly, you should have went back to your room. But for this, again, it depends on how she did it. If she was just sitting by the water and they just heard her, bruh, one, why the hell was you that loud? Again, there's still people around. And then why? I mean, I want to say they should have minded their business, but then again, they got their kids with them. That's why they was minding her business. Because, bruh, again, you should have went back to your room. Out of all places, you gonna do this at? Not the bathroom, not the shower, not you gonna go right in front of people. Very slow. That was very slow, man. And I still wouldn't have admitted to that though. Like what? I wouldn't. I'm not gonna give you the direct thing of how I did it. You just told them. You just told on yourself. Now I would not have done that, especially at the beach. They don't got no. They don't got no video.
You got our idea.
No, we haven't gotten our ID yet. I still that in the bag. $15 Teddy. Can you run a Georgia 27?
I want to see if the vibrator gonna be right there. It's like was it big for them? Like again, like the moaning part. How loud was she? Like not even on the weird stuff, but like was she super loud? Like hmm.
Yes, track.
Oh, Jesus. She said there's a vibrator in there.
Yeah, she needs to go out.
I'm looking like he about to put a you about to put a pistol out or something, bro. Like
Oh, nice. It's a bullet style. That's what they call it.
Dump all this mess out of your office.
Oh, Jesus. Knows you going through it. You locking everything.
that's fucked up. They gonna make her do it.
Lock the trunk.
Yep.
Yeah, he said it was a bullet. A bullet like it's like that big. It's like this big. It's small as hell. They was being nosy. Again, I know they had the kids, so that they had to slightly mind her business. Like, what is this lady doing? I don't want my kids seeing this. On that aspect, I feel it. But she was dumb too. Why would you go here of all places? Again, especially when you're walking on the beach, you see people. Nah. But she's thinking in her mind probably like, I'm just sitting down. Again, in order for you to know what she's doing, you had to been staring the whole time. The whole time. Especially if she's facing the water. I don't think this lady was dumb enough to be facing people. Cause that, yeah, come on, bro. People would see exactly what you're doing. But this is crazy.
Code book, see what she was charging.
Okay. I mean, and she admitted to it, and she said she had an orgasm on the beach and all that other good mess. So, yeah.
You didn't have to say that part.
Cool.
You could have said, yeah, she admitted that she did it, so.
Alrighty. What's that? Mm-hmm.
I got you.
I got you. And I mean, to be completely honest with you, I really don't care what you did, you know. But again, someone saw it, so that's why we're here, you know.
He let him like, I don't care.
I mean, if you're gonna do something like that, you know, don't get caught. That's all I have to say, you know.
Whoa.
So I mean, I got nothing against you, you know.
I would never thought a cop would have admitted to that.
34-year-old
That's
Christina
crazy.
Ashley Revels Glick was arrested and charged with indecent exposure and disorderly conduct. If you're not familiar with this story, then you may be thinking to yourself, well, that's the end of it. She went through the legal process and received her punishment. In the state of Georgia, a first offence of indecent exposure is classed as a misdemeanor, so you'd be right to think that she got a slap on the wrist. But what if I told you she didn't even make it through the whole legal process, because she passed just months after her arrest? But the circumstances surrounding her death aren't as straightforward as you may think.
Whoa.
Christina's life leading up into the beach incident had been a quote, wild one, according to one unnamed relative. And although there isn't much information about her early life, we do know that the beach incident wasn't her first run-in with the law. She got in trouble, got herself arrested. She went to prison in Florida. It isn't entirely clear why she specifically went to prison, but we do know that she had been arrested on a handful of occasions. In 2018, she was accused of stealing a car, and in that same year she was arrested a handful of times for public drunkenness. Her life prior to the 2018 arrests was far from stable. You see, she had 2 sons with 2 different men, a 19-year-old from a relationship way back in the day, and a 15-year-old from a marriage that ended in divorce in 2015. Although the divorce went through in 2015, the marriage had broken down years before. Just 6 months after the 15-year-old was born, she left the family home to go on her own journey in life. The child was left with his father. Over the years, she had little contact with either of her children and their fathers, but on at least one occasion, she and her at the time husband rekindled. After she spent time in jail, her husband took her back, but she was wild. A short while after they got back together, she fell in with a real bad crowd. She was drinking and taking drugs. By 2020, Christina had made her own way in life once again, and she had been
Damn, boy. She like looking at her right here. You wouldn't think of all that. You wouldn't even imagine all that. But this just goes to show you, never judge a book by its cover, and you never know what somebody's going through.
living at a property in Hinesville, Georgia. I'm not judging, but there were a lot of men, and we heard she worked at a strip club too. She was always nice to talk to, always smiled, said hello to our kids when she was coming in and out. She always paid her rent on time. In that sense, she was a model tenant. Then came March of 2022. On the 19th, landlady Felicity Rollins contacted police to request a welfare check on Christina. She had missed her latest payment for rent. A couple of weeks had gone by and Felicity couldn't get hold of her. When police arrived, it was reported that, quote, negative contact was made. Then they left. Remember, Ashley wasn't considered a vulnerable adult in the eyes of authorities, and there were no reports to police that she could be in any sort of danger, so there wasn't much they could do about it. Over the next 12 days, Felicity continued to try and reach out to Christina, but all attempts failed. Then, on the 31st of March, 2022, Felicity and her boyfriend decided it was for the best to enter the property to see what was going on for themselves. It was then a gruesome discovery was made. I was sitting waiting in my truck when Felicity and her boyfriend came down and
What is
said,
this?
something's wrong. We think there's a dead body in there. They'd pretty much turned straight around when they opened the door. I didn't believe it. I thought they were messing, so I went up. When Felicity's family friend, Gareth White, entered the apartment, he knew straight away that someone had died. The smell alone was enough to tell him that. And so there she was, Christina decomposing on the floor in the property. She had been dead for roughly a month. After an investigation, detectives concluded that she took her own life for reasons unknown. But people connected to the incident don't really buy into that story and want police to explore the possibility that she may have been murdered. After the discovery was made, Felicity asked her sister Whitney Phillips to act on her behalf moving forward, as the incident was too much for her to handle. When Whitney entered the property, she noticed that there was blood in every room. Not only that, but there was other evidence to suggest foul play. There was blood in every room in the apartment, but there were other things.
They do say, now mind you, I ain't a cop, so therefore I don't know this for a fact. But they do say when it comes to women and them unaliving themselves, they don't leave no mess because they don't want nobody to clean up after them. So therefore, again, I don't know if it's true because again, even me saying it right now, it sounds crazy. Like if you finna unalive yourself, why would you care about a mess or who's finna have to clean it up? But never know. Never know. They do say this when it comes to law enforcement. Hey, I watch a lot of CSI and crime scene investigating type of videos, so therefore they always say that. So that might be true, and if it is, something's for sure off.
Like unopened packages, things for the apartment, like she was expecting still to do things. Why would she be ordering stuff for the house? Why would she still be paying her bills if she was planning to end it? She was never late on rent. I didn't sleep right for a week after seeing the inside of that apartment. You could see the marks on the wall where her body had been, and on the carpet where it had laid. To me, it looked like she was panicking, trying to get away, trying to save her life. Why would she be moving through the house like that? That doesn't make no sense. Jonathan Johnson and his wife Jasmine, downstairs neighbours, think Christina was murdered too. The Johnsons believe they had the actual murder taking place but didn't want to intervene because they weren't too sure. They say a man who Ashley had been seeing needs to be taken in for questioning. I believe that dude killed her. We had a lot of commotion that one night, then we never saw her or heard her again. I asked, should we call the police? But you're not too sure sometimes. Like, if you get involved, maybe you'll get hurt too. That guy was there all the time and his car was over there that night. When we came out the next day, it was gone. That night, it was like a lot of heavy walking and moving around going on. After that, it was just silent up there. And so, it's been well over a year since police reached their conclusion. We can't rule out that they'd ever change their theory and investigate the possibility that Christina was murdered, but we can say, for at least now anyway, that they don't think she was.
That's crazy, bro. Condolences to that lady, bro. Make sure you like and subscribe. Catch you on the next one.